I want the floor. Please don't interrupt me. Listen carefully.
Oh God, oh God.
Let me preface my presentation with no, cow's tails do not fall off due to hydrofracking. It can easily be said had I a nickel for every time that ubiquitous internet picture was sent to me of a dairy cow with a short tail, I could retire. The picture, of course, would have in the background a drilling rig. Take it to the bank, mark it in stone, etch it in gold. Cows' tails do not fall off. They are bobbed or cropped for hygiene purposes of both the animal and the farmer. This photograph, with others like it, would soon become the holy grail for the environmental movement. They have the veracity of a Kardashian wedding bell. 2.5 years ago, the town of Bristol was facing the issue of HVHF, high-volume hydrofracking. In short, the town board recognized quickly that HVHF could not be supported by its current infrastructure. Furthermore, the geology of the region did not support it. The area south of the 5 and 20 corridor has a long history of low-level natural gas exploration and extraction. Today, the town is host to Honey Oil Storage, which is part of a larger network of gas lines transporting from various areas in the Northeast. Those of us fortunate enough to have gas lines in front of our homes heat them with a product. Others use propane, a byproduct of natural gas. There is a 9 in 10 probability that that gas comes from a hydrofracked well, regardless of its origin. Locally, others benefit from lucrative royalties from gas wells on their properties, amounting to thousands of dollars over time. I don't have one, nor do I want one. Some of the same owners have aligned themselves to the environmental movement. The reason would be speculative. Others' very own pensions are contingent upon a healthy energy industry, yet they protest. Local members have installed natural gas standby generators while openly denouncing the right of a landowner from drilling their own well. Inconsistencies abound. Our town board empowered a focus panel which gave its final report last year. Both the planning board and town board have followed their recommendations. These findings are in concert with the Canandaigua Lake Watershed Council. In the interim, both boards have been subjected to unwarranted criticism not ever seen before by members of this community. Unbridled social media was used to denigrate, assault, and simply trash our families and members of this board. Accusations of payoffs, collusion, and corruption left our board members stunned. Unbeknownst emails forwarded to me over the last 2 years, authored by individuals active in the environmental movement, called into doubt their objectivity. Open statements from academics relish that, quote, these people here aren't too smart, unquote. Further communications via email from activists reminded me that I must vote Republican and watch too much Fox News. This from alumni of religion and philosophy. Rest assured, I will watch what I want and I will vote as I damn well please. You keep your religion, you keep your philosophy. We can visit websites of academic institutions and bestow accolades.
Give him the courtesy that he gave you.
We can visit websites of academic institutions. You can either leave or stay quiet.
Okay.
Thank you. We can visit websites of academic institutions that bestow accolades upon clean burning natural gas. Some institutions in turn receive tens of thousands in scholarships, while their employees feel the necessity to look down their noses at the rest of us. The community has been subjected to a constant barrage of maybe well-intended but very misguided individuals. We would see flyers on car windshields while the owners were at a house of worship. Others would receive their monthly dose of information when visiting a transfer station. Phone calls came to me from upset residents that described the incidents as nothing short of intimidation. Some were infuriated, to say the least. We could only speculate the outcry had the oil and gas industry resorted to such tactics. Others would tell us of the dangers from what is called NORM, naturally occurring radioactive material wastewater, while they and their organizations produce annually pounds of radioactive waste, which most have to be transported out of state. Their members preach to us. In 2012, here at the town hall, we witnessed residents being shouted down and branded publicly, "You're a liar," by activists. The crime? Someone wished to speak an opposing point of view. Months later, I would receive an email from them educating me on the virtues of democracy. Really? I've seen both my children and others leave to fight wars in lands most Americans can't find on a map. I nearly lost a son in Iraq. And my daughter would witness the effects of a suicide bomber in a chow hall. I have trained young soldiers preparing to go off to war. With the full respect of a military honor guard, I have had to lay some of them to their final rest. Wars are nasty, dirty, and in the end, who really is the victor? Wars are fought over the 2 R's, religion and resources. The resource is the objective and religion used for justification. Through a region of the world known as the Straits of Hormuz flows 30 to 35% of the world's energy supplies. That free flow of energy is kept as such by virtue of at least one aircraft carrier, battle group, and sometimes 2. We buy foreign energy to maintain our lifestyle, this at great risk, ensuring the recipients of our payments by modern weaponry to harm our soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, and guardsmen. The world would witness in July of this year the shoot-down of a civilian airliner by a Russian SAM. The response by Europe and the world was tepid at best. The reason, Russia supplies 40% of Eastern Europe's natural gas. Meanwhile, the memory of men, women, and children falling from 32,000 feet still strapped to their seats remain unchallenged and quickly fade. What's the point? Simple. We want the convenience of cheap energy regardless of its source as long as it's not in our backyard. We as board members have worked hard, and I mean we have worked hard, folks, at finding middle ground on this hot button topic. The proposal this evening prohibits commercialization by anyone, but does recognize the right for local homes and farms to continue the use of that resource for their own benefit. Further complete banning may stop any owner from drilling for geothermal energy and brings the fracking of water wells, and my water well was fracked, into question. Though it's a different process, it is fracking. No wells have been contaminated, no cows are dead, no three-headed toads abound. The restrictions placed by DEC are enormous, with a 40-acre minimum acreage requirement, setbacks, guidelines, regulations, etc. coming into play. And the industry does bear responsibility. In the meantime, when the winter winds blow, people will sit home in an easy chair with a glass of Pinot Noir in one hand, the TV remote in the other, and say, "Oh, would you turn up the thermostat, please? I'm a little chilly." Stay warm. Hearing is closed.